Hello, everybody. Hope you are well. The biggest North London derby since 2006. Tomorrow, the biggest game of the season for Arsenal by a mile. I have to say, despite the attitude and momentum at the moment not being with Arsenal and being a bit negative, well, very, very, very deeply negative at the moment, and understandably so, we'll go into it in this video. But it is an exciting part of the season. The 11 or 10 or 11 games to go. All competitions are hotting up. We've got the final of the Carabao Cup in less than a month now, or exactly a month actually. So this is a fun time of the season. And the more the dust settles since Wolves, the more I feel, well, we're in a fight. We're in a fight. Has this group got what it takes to accept that and go again and win in difficult circumstances and beat City, who now everyone believes will win the league? I think that this sort of general feeling that City will win the league from the majority of people now. I mean, there is still Arsenal could do it, but I think a lot of people are moving towards that. I think that benefits Arteta. I think Arteta is best when he's at a fight, when he's in a fight. We saw that in his first season when he lost, I think, four games on the bounce, and you saw in the Amazon documentary his amazing pre-match speeches and the way he galvanizes things. It really wakes him up. And I think that he's going to use a lot of what's been saying in the media recently, a lot of what's been saying by pundits, a lot of what's been saying by Arsenal fans, and about this and that in the pre-match pre-game speeches and team talks. He's done that before. I remember against Brentford when we played them at home. Ivan Toney made a tweet saying after beating us that we just had a kickabout with the boys, easy kickabout with the boys. Arteta, when in the follow-up game, brought that up on the big screen in front of everyone before the game, and it seemed to work. And I think Arteta is maybe at his best when his back's against the wall, and can he get the best out of this team like he has done before in these moments? Of course, the last two seasons is very disappointing to think this situation has happened again and again. This team is experienced. I believe there might be more to what's going on than we think. But anyway, in this video, I'm going to be having a look at the preview tomorrow, have a prediction of what Arsenal may start, who may start for Arsenal. Let's have a look here. I think that Arsenal will be largely unchanged from Wolves. So Raya, Timber. I mean, the thing is, I think the only player who may need a bit of a rest at the moment is Timber. He's looked very tired. And Ben White, he's got a bit of steel about him, Ben White. And could we see Ben White come into that? He's so focused. He's so out for it. Timber, one of my players of the season up until the last 2 months. He's had a real... one part of his game that I think is now showing to be lacking is his decision making and his ability in the final third. As technically good as Timber is, he's not pulling things off in the final third by any means. But so I think there's a call there for Arteta. I think Timber, based on how knackered he might be, Arteta may go for White at right back. But for now, I'm going to go Timber. I think he's going to back him. Saliba, Gabriel, we'll see them. Nketiah or Calafiori? Calafiori looks fit now. And Calafiori, as we know, has had the best first half of the season. Like, he's been one of our best players when he's been fit. But Nketiah, in his last few games, particularly when he was brought off against Wolves, he was our best player against Wolves. But Calafiori had a fantastic season when he's been on the pitch. I don't know, though. That's a really difficult one, Nketiah versus Calafiori. I think in general you go Calafiori, but based on form, it's very hard to turn Nketiah off. The one thing with Nketiah is he's hot-headed, and the team are in a hot-headed moment. There's a lot of frustration. We haven't had a red card all season. I wouldn't want it to be the start. I think I would probably back Calafiori there. I think Arteta will go Nketiah, but I would go for Calafiori again there. At left back. In midfield, we're going to see Zubimendi and Rice. I think that's almost guaranteed, unless Arteta does something crazy and unheard of and does what he did against Wigan and plays Eze there. Eze instead of. This is insane. Rice is never going to be dropped, but I really liked it when we saw Eze and Saka on the same pitch. Eze, Saka, Madueke, Martinelli, Gyökeres against Wigan. And I do think at some point we're going to have to shift things about because we have been dreadful to watch the last couple of games. Apart from that Wigan one, and I want to see Eze in the team. I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be a bit of a key to the rest of the season. Okay, on right in, but I think it will be Zubimendi Rice. Madueke starting on the right. I think he'll go for that again. Saka through the middle. Again, it did work when he was on the pitch. It did seem to work. I think he might actually start Trossard. I thought Martinelli had a poor game. Not for the first time. You know, Brentford, he had a bad game, poor game against Wolves. And yes, I do think he'll start Gyökeres up front. Up against, I think it will be Dragusin and Van der Ven. Maybe Van der Ven cancels Gyökeres out entirely because of his pace. So it could be interesting if Jesus is chosen. There are a couple of decisions to be made here. But I would back Gyökeres here. I want to see Gyökeres playing in these big games. He's got a good history again in big games for Sporting. Against Man City, he scored a hat-trick. When the heat is on, and it really is here, he's got to perform big time. I think he might perform well here. So that's who I think will start. I think it will be Gyökeres. Now to just a quick bit on Tottenham. Of course, they just signed Igor Tudor. Now, he's had a really weird career. He's barely been at clubs for longer than the season. I think he's worked with Juventus. Let's have a quick look here. Oh, he is Croatian. He's Croatian. I thought he was Italian, but yes, he's been with Galatasaray, Udinese, Marseille, Lazio, Juventus, but barely longer than the season. He was a Croatian manager. Oh wow, interesting. So he's barely done longer the season, but an interesting stat I saw the other day is that he barely loses his opening game at all those clubs. What I would also say is I've watched his press conference, and he has a very clear message opposed to Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank was a bit wishy-washy. I remember him in his opening press conference saying, "We will lose games." Well, you're right about that, mate. You were certainly right about that, Thomas Frank. 2-17. But Igor Tudor was very clear. It's about, he said, I think he repeated a couple of times that it was about the heart. There's nothing to think more about. Football is simple. It's about the heart and the head, and you just play and you make the right decisions, something like that. So I think they will benefit from a clear marksman like that. And he seems quite sort of slightly scary, which might scare the players into performing a bit. We will see about that. But let's be honest here. I know Arsenal are in a poor way at the moment. But look at Tottenham. They don't have... Romero won't be there. Romero is out. So it will be Dragusin, Van der Ven. The midfield is absolutely horrendous. We will have chances. They think they've won. I know they're going to get the flags out, the banners out, the tifos out. Tottenham will. At the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Is it just going to be called Tottenham Hotspur Stadium forever now? Who knows? Probably, yeah. And, Solanke is playing a bit better, so they have got a bit of an outlet. Left wing, right wing. I mean, I think Xavi Simons is a poor player. I think that's why he's been binned off by Barcelona. PSG binned him off as well. He's not really lasted long at these clubs, so I don't think he's going to be someone who make massive difference. I think Arsenal will be up for a fight. I think if Arteta can get that team talk right and just get everyone galvanized and reduce the pressure if he can by saying everyone thinks we're going to lose the league. So if we can win, and it's win today, we have basically silenced a lot of people. So that, I think, if he can say something along, not exactly what I've said, but if he can say something to reduce the pressure and remind everyone about the journey, remind everyone about the fun, like he did after Manchester United, and enjoyment of this process, you could see a really interesting game. I mean, come on. It is... Oh, I'm pumped for it, though. I'm pumped for it. I will be doing a watch-along live stream if anyone wants to join in there. Yeah, so here we go. This feels like a very classic North London derby. We've not had any... I mean, we've beaten them the last 3-4 years, back-to-back, done the double over them. So it is exciting to... They're up for it as well. They are up for it. It is basically their cup final this season. They're done and dusted, Spurs. So let's just see what happens. I'll be doing full-time reports as well, so please do subscribe if you're interested in more content. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and all the best. We're going to do this tomorrow. Let's go!